Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this meditation. In this meditation, we call it Facing Your Giant Goliath. And in this meditation, we're gonna face our giant and overcome and be victorious over it. So before we proceed into this meditation, I want you to get your book and your pen and keep yourself ready, because in this meditation we're gonna do a small kind of workshop where we write down things. Let's begin. I want to take you to the book of 1 Samuel chapter 17. 1 Samuel chapter 17. And 1 Samuel chapter 17 says, a champion named Goliath, who was from Gath, came out of Philistine camp. His height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head and wore a coat of scale armor of bronze, weighing 5,000 shekels. On his legs he wore bronze greaves, and bronze javelin was slung on his back. His spear shaft was like a weaver's rod, and its iron point weighed 600 shekels. His shield bearer went ahead of him. It says in verse 16, for 40 days the Philistines came forward every morning and evening and took his stand. I won't go to read the whole scripture, but I want to take you towards what happens when David encounters Goliath, faces him. I want to take you straight to verse 45. David said to the Philistine, you come against me with sword and spear and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hands, and I'll strike you down and cut off your head. This very day I will give the carcasses of the Philistine army to the birds and the wild animals, and the whole world will know that there is a God in Israel. All those gathered here will know that it is not by sword or spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give all of you into our hands. As the Philistine moved closer to attack him, David ran quickly toward the battle line to meet him. Reaching into his bag and taking out a stone, he slung it and struck the Philistine on the forehead. The stone sank into his forehead and he fell face down on the ground. Today we're gonna do this a small workshop, and before we do this, let's contemplate on the scripture. What do we understand? First thing, we see David or the people of Israel are faced with a Goliath, and this enemy attacks Philistines every morning till every evening. Every morning and every evening. These are the two times that they face the enemy. They face their worst enemy. they face their fear, they face their worry, they face their struggle, and the whole army of Israel faces this particular person called as Goliath, this particular enemy called as Goliath, but they cannot defeat him. Why? Because they cannot defeat him first in their minds, in their attitude, in their faith, in their heart. But there is this guy called as David who has not been trained in the army, not been trained in any of their army tactics. He decides to face Goliath, and the battle is first won by David, not physically, but fought and won by David in his mindset, in his attitude. So what David sees, he looks at his fear, he looks at his challenge, he looks at his biggest problem, he looks at it, he faces it, and when he looks at it or looks at him as an illusion and speaks his inner reality and projects his inner reality, his thought process outwardly. He declares his inner beliefs outwardly. And when he does that, we see that David is able to destroy this Goliath that he faces in his life. This morning, what we are going to do, this moment in this meditation, we are not going to run away from our fears, from our worries. We are not going to run away from the situations and struggles or any situation in our life, but we are going to face a Goliath in life. We're going to write down what are the fears that we are having. We are going to write down what are the worries that we are having. We're going to write down what are the situations that we are afraid of facing. And when we write down, we are going to have a contemplative attitude and a prayer towards this particular situation, this particular fear, and we are going to imagine, visualize the way David imagined, visualized and felt what he would do with Goliath. In the same way, we are going to look at the fear, look at the struggle, we are going to look at the worry, look at the problem, and imagine exactly destroying that problem, destroying that situation, destroying that fear, and transmute that particular problem, that particular emotion of fear into a positive one. So I'll guide you through this. We gotta use the name of God the way David used Yod He Vav He, and with one stone he could destroy this huge Goliath. In the same way, we gotta use the name of God Yod He Vav He. Yod He Vav He at a deeper level is manifesting heaven, manifesting what is inside, manifesting the kingdom which is inside us, outside us. So let's take a deep breath, get into a small breath work, and quickly start facing our Goliath. I want you to breathe 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Resume back to your normal breathing. Breathe in. Deep breath. Breathe out. Breathe in. Deep breath. Breathe out. Breathe in a deep breath. Breathe out. Lastly, breathe in a deep breath. Breathe out. Now take your pen, take your paper. I want you to start writing. What are the fears that come to your mind? Or what are the fears that bother you? Start writing your fears down. We need to this moment deal with these fears, these worries. We need to face them and see them face to face. So start writing down the fears that are pertaining to your body, physical body. Maybe it is to do with your health or some sickness that you are worried about. Write it down. Fears that or struggles of your life that are related to your emotions. Who or what really makes you emotional in life. People that makes you emotional, attachments, fear of losing people, fear of being judged, not just fear but any worry that really impacts your emotions. Write it down. situations or people or things that affect your mental health and takes a lot of your mental energy, write it down. If you have fear or struggles or worries in terms of finances, write them down and try to be as detailed as possible. Fear, struggle of being judged, insecurities, write them down. Your fear, your struggles, your worries pertaining to your job, pertaining to your career, write them down. Fear of death, or any great phobia that you are having, either of heights or insects or whatever it might be, just write it down. And as you have written all your fears down, I want you to read them back again, one by one. Be aware of these fears, of these worries, of these struggles. And this is very important. Just to face them and be aware of them. Feel the energy that comes out of these fears, these worries, these struggles of your life. Feel the emotions, the emotional energy, the struggle. Feel that. The feeling that comes when you think about these things that you have written down. Just feel, keep feeling, keep seeing, keep focusing. And now, try to see all these things that you have written as something that are illusions, deception of your mind. These are your wrong beliefs. These are your negative attitudes that are projected on this paper. Look at them one by one. And as you look at them, I want you to start having the attitude like that of David. The reason David was able to destroy the Goliath was because his inner belief system, his inner attitude, his mindset, his thinking pattern had already defeated Goliath. He was no longer in an illusion, but he was seeing the true reality of Goliath. So as you look at this paper and look at all these things that you have written, we are going to look at now the true reality. And we're going to write down the realities or just speak over this particular points or struggles or worries that you have. We're going to speak exactly the opposite and speak the reality over it. So if you have written, my fear is this particular sickness, you're going to look at it, feel the energy, and now speak and imagine and visualize that you are completely healed, completely restored. The sickness just disappeared, that illusion just went away, and you are victorious in this area. If you have written down financial fear of finances or fear of being financially down in your life, look at it. Be aware of what emotions are going inside of you, and then visualize abundance in your life and see how you are completely abundant and being blessed, and feel the feeling of being abundant in your life. If your fear is of losing your finances, losing yourself, or losing a person, look at them, look at what you have written down. Feel what is that fear, transmute it, convert it. Come to a place of a mindset and say, no matter what happens, I am not afraid. Now, I am in control. I am victorious. I can overcome all these fears. And now visualize and feel exactly the opposite of what you have written. And feel the feeling of victory. Feel the feeling of being an overcomer and overcoming all these situations. This is just nothing for you, because the great I Am is in you. Come to a place to realize and understand all this that you have written is of no power. It cannot really destroy your life. It cannot shake you, cannot move you. Face all these worries, fears. And as David did not see Goliath as a problem, but saw Goliath as his promotion towards reaching his destination, I want you to see at all these things that you have written not as a problem, but as situation that are going to promote you at a higher level in your life. The difference between the rest of Israel and David was a simple difference. People of Israel feared Goliath, and David faced Goliath with a completely different mindset and attitude. He visualized in a different way. He felt differently, and he spoke over Goliath differently. I want you to speak out loudly. Visualize, feel, and declare. Now breathe in with all these positive emotions, positive mindset, positive attitude and visualization. Breathe in and breathe out over that piece of paper. Yod He Vav He. Breathe in and breathe out your victory and defeat of all these fears. Yod He Vav He. Breathe in with a realization that you are the great I am. You have the power and control over every situation of your life. Breathe in, breathe out. Yod He Vav He. And lastly, just breathe in, breathe out. Yod He Vav He. Bless you. You are victorious. You are more than a conqueror. You are going to walk victoriously in your life. You are successful in every area of your life. That is going to be your reality, because every illusion and deception that fear has brought in your life is going to disappear in your life. God bless you, and see you soon for the next meditation.